I stood in our kitchen 3 days before I was supposed to say, I do, holding Elena's hand so tight my knuckles turned white, while my father's voice crackled through the speakerphone like a verdict. Cancel the honeymoon. Your sister needs you to watch her children. It's not a request. I looked at the woman I was about to marry, the one who'd spent 2 years building our future like it was fragile glass, and I felt something inside me finally snap. Not anger. Not yet. Clarity. Cold, surgical clarity. And in that moment I knew, the family I'd spent 33 years trying to keep happy, was never planning to return the favor. My name is Julian. I'm 33 now. Growing up, our house in the suburbs felt like a stage. My father, Victor, ran every scene with the quiet authority of a man who believed duty was the only currency that mattered. My mother, Nadia, smiled for photographs and whispered apologies when no one was watching. And then there was my older sister, Sophia, the bright, beautiful center of every orbit. Sophia was never just in trouble. Trouble followed her like perfume. A broken phone became a crisis. A bad grade became a tragedy. A fight with a boyfriend became a national emergency requiring all hands on deck. I was the background character. The reliable one. The kid who fixed his own bike, who studied in silence, who never asked for spotlight because I already knew it wasn't mine to claim. Adults praised me for it. Julian's so easy. Julian doesn't make waves. What they meant was, Julian can be ignored and still turn out useful. There was only one person who ever saw through the script. My mother's brother, Roman. He ran a tiny garage on the edge of town. Grease under his nails, cigarette behind his ear, eyes that missed nothing. Every summer he'd pull me aside while the rest of the family argued inside and say the same thing in a low voice. You're not their spare battery, kid. Stop letting them drain you dry. I'd laugh it off. He never did. By the time Elena and I got engaged, the pattern had hardened into habit. Small loans became regular wires. Just this once turned into monthly. Sophia's husband, Greg, was always between jobs. The kids, Lila and Nico, were always overwhelming. My parents were always stretched thin. I kept sending money because saying no felt like betraying the child who still wanted approval. Then came the wedding. Elena planned every detail with joy I'd never seen in my own family. She wanted turquoise water and overwater bungalows for our honeymoon. She'd taped a faded photo of Bora Bora inside her teenage diary when money was tight and dreams were free. We saved for 2 years. Non-refundable deposits. $24,000 of our future, locked in. 72 hours before the ceremony my father appeared in our kitchen. Not to congratulate. Not to help. To deliver orders. Sophia booked her procedure for next week. She needs you to take the kids. Family comes first. I asked what procedure. He said, it's personal. Elena's eyes met mine. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. I pressed. He sighed like I was being difficult. Reconstructive. After the babies. She's struggling. Something in his tone felt rehearsed. Too clean. I said, send the surgeon's name. The hospital. Anything. He laughed once, short, sharp. You don't trust your own sister. That night my mother called sobbing. Sophia's terrified. She says you've changed. I asked again. She hesitated. Then Sophia's voice cut in, annoyed, not afraid. It's a mommy makeover, Julian. Okay. I need to feel like myself again. Greg barely looks at me. Elective. Cosmetic. Booked during my wedding week because convenience is a family tradition. I felt heat rise behind my eyes. Not rage yet. Disgust. At how easily they rewrote reality. At how casually they assumed my life was negotiable. My father called back. This is your loyalty test. You walk away now, you're choosing strangers over blood. Elena whispered beside me, they're choosing convenience over you. I opened the folder on my laptop I'd started 2 years earlier. Dates. Amounts. Reasons. $41,000 in 36 months. Not gifts. Taxes on being the dependable one. Roman's voice echoed again, paper beats poetry. I put the phone on speaker. My father was mid-lecture about duty when Roman's number flashed. I answered. He didn't greet anyone. Victor. You're trying to steal his wedding trip so Sophia can get lipo and a tummy tuck. Dead silence. Then my father exploded. Roman didn't flinch. Julian isn't your ATM. He isn't your errand boy. He's getting married. Let him. Sophia screamed something about betrayal. My mother tried tears again. Roman cut through, save the performance. He's done paying for your script. I looked at Elena. She wasn't crying. She was watching me like I was finally waking up. My father's last words. Do this, or don't bother coming home again. I felt the old reflex rise, explain, apologize, fix. Then I felt it die. I spoke quietly. You called it a loyalty test. He said yes. I said. I failed. I ended the call. Blocked every number. Hands shaking. Not from fear. From relief so sharp it hurt. They didn't come to the wedding. Not one of them. The chairs stayed empty where they should have sat. I felt the sting, grief for the parents I'd hoped they could be. But Elena's hand in mine was warm. Real. We flew out the next morning. Bora Bora wasn't paradise because of the water or the sun. It was paradise because no one could reach us. We floated in lagoons that looked like liquid sapphire. We laughed until our stomachs hurt. Elena posted one photo, her head on my chest, both of us glowing and sunburned. I didn't check my phone for 3 days. When I finally did. 187 missed calls. Voicemails stacked like accusations. My mother, Sophia's recovering alone. If anything happens, it's on your conscience. My father, you will apologize when you crawl back. A cousin I barely knew, your parents sacrificed everything for you. I stared at the screen. Then I handed it to Elena. She read in silence. Then she said. They still think you owe them your life. I blocked the rest. Threw the phone on the bed. We went back into the water. That night, under stars so bright they looked painted, I finally understood. They hadn't lost a son. They'd lost an employee. We're back in Washington now. The house is quieter. My lawyer sent one letter. Cease contact. Roman helped me close every financial thread they still held. I don't hate them. I just don't belong to them anymore. Sometimes I still wake up at 3 a.m. wondering if I was too harsh. Then I remember the spreadsheet. The photo Elena kept since she was 14. The way she looked at me when I said I failed and meant it. If you've ever been the family bank, the family fixer, the one who's always expected to say yes. What would you have done? Would you have canceled the honeymoon? Or would you have finally chosen yourself? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. And for the first time, I'm not afraid of the answer. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe for more.